Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Starfield and this is my mommy.
Hey y'all.
And every single week we bring you guys meals that we batch prep on Sunday and we eat off of them all week long, where we save tons of money and are able to eat delicious foods all week. And today it's going to be no different. This is episode 10
All right.
of Full and Satisfied. Are you guys excited? Can y'all give us some hearts in the chat for the consistency, okay? We are so excited.
Yes, put some thumbs up in the chat.
Yes. We have been really working consistently to bring you guys some delicious recipes. And if I do say so myself, these recipes have been amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know which one is quite my favorite, but I'm going to tell you guys, last week, that stuffed meatloaf.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it was so good.
It was.
Gabriel was
Excellent.
tearing it up. He was tearing it up. And you know, anytime you have a child that has special needs, that eats all the food up, all you can do is give yourself a big pat on the back. So thank you, Mommy, for coming up with that recipe. We made it and it was absolutely delicious. So
yes, excellent.
Today's no different. We're going to make for you guys today a what?
Gumbo.
Gumbo is something that we've never made before on this channel, and so I'm so excited. I love gumbo, and I love that we're going to kind of put our own twist to it. So just keep watching if you want to see us make some delicious gumbo that'll keep you what? Full and satisfied. So you guys know that Mommy was recently diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, and her doctors recommended that she definitely gets her protein up. And so today we're going to pack this gumbo with lots and lots of protein. So first on the list is some
pink salmon, and it has 17 grams for one serving. In this can is 2 servings, and you will get 34 grams of protein.
That's right. And the next is some delicious turkey bacon.
Yeah.
This is the Columbus turkey bacon that we get from Costco. We love this bacon. It's so rich and thick and crunchy. So this is definitely packed full of protein. Next up is going to be some delicious shrimp. Is another great way to get tons and tons of protein, you guys. And the good thing about shrimp is that it's very, very low in fat. Okay. And last but not least, we're going to be putting in there some of these delicious chicken patties. I picked these up from Trader Joe's, and these have 13 grams of protein per 2 patties, and there's 3 servings in the bag. So this is 39 grams of protein. So you guys can see that we're going to be packing the gumbo with tons and tons of protein.
Oh, yes.
And don't worry, we did not forget about the vegetables. That's next. But first, we're going to get our protein cooking. So we want to show you guys how we season the pot. Let's go. And while we're waiting for the olive oil to get hot to cook our bacon, I'm going to be cutting up a yellow pepper, a red pepper, an orange pepper, a green pepper, and an onion, of course, in my favorite little Ninja. And if you guys don't have a Ninja, I always say this every single week. It's available in my Amazon storefront. This little Ninja only costs like $32. It's one of my favorite Ninjas. I use it to cut up all my vegetables every week. You guys see it going down here on Full and Satisfied. Okay, so let's get these peppers cut up.
Okay, we're making gumbo today. One of our meats that we're using is the turkey bacon, and the turkey bacon has 6 grams of protein in it per slice. There's 10 slices in one package, so that would give you 60 grams of protein.
here's all the peppers and the onions that we're going to be using for our gumbo. It's smelling so good in here. The bacon is getting browned and it's looking delicious.
Yeah.
And we're going to, in just a little bit, add these chicken breakfast sausages to the pot and let those brown.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and cut the stems off of the shrimps while I have a little bit more time. Remember, I talked about vegetables. We're going to be using some chopped kale in our gumbo. And remember, this bag of kale has 16 grams of protein. So you're getting protein from your meats, and also you're getting protein from your kale. So we're going to go ahead and rinse this off and make sure that's good and chopped up. And then for our canned goods, we're just going to use a little bit of stewed tomatoes. We're going to be using about 2 cans of the stewed tomatoes. So I'm going to start opening up some cans and taking the stems off some of the shrimp while we wait for our bacon to get brown. Bacon is looking beautiful.
All right.
All right.
Chicken sausage.
All right, guys, so we got all of our meat that needed to be cooked, and you can see now in our skillet it's just grease. It's flavored from the bacon and the sausages. So what we're going to do now is we're going to show you how to make a roux. Take it away, mommy.
Instead of using flour and oil, we're just going to use some xanthan gum, which is a thickening, and then we'll pour our vegetable broth in there and some stewed tomatoes.
Okay. 1 tablespoon of xanthan gum. 2 tablespoons of xanthan gum.
They do it the flour. See how it's getting brown like a gravy?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're doing. Mixing it up with the grease. No, I don't need a spatula. This is doing good. So see, and the longer you cook it with the grease and the flour or the xanthan gum, then, but we just use xanthan gum. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add our little bit of vegetable broth.
Okay.
And we're gonna add our peppers.
Okay.
So we'll add our broth first. See, that's getting thick. Kind of like making a gravy.
It's like making a gravy.
They call it a roux.
And this is called a roux.
But they use flour and oil, and we're using just oil and
Xanthan gum.
xanthan gum. Turn this down just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Looking good.
It's looking good.
This is how to make a roux.
Without the flour.
Without the flour.
And then we can put our seasonings in here. See how it's getting a nice thick kind of gravy?
Mm-hmm.
Just from the those are 2 tablespoons of xanthan gum. And it's a thickening for gravies or whatever. Just so you won't have to use the flour, have all them carbs. We're gonna add these, and then we're also gonna add some stewed tomatoes, rotel tomatoes. That's looking good.
Mm-hmm. Want the bay leaves?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna put the bay leaves in here too. Not very many right now. That's looking good.
Go ahead, Roux. How to make a roux.
Okay, so we got this going. And see, we're almost done. After we get it seasoned.
What? It's tasting good or not?
Yeah, it's tasting good.
Okay.
That's already tasting good. We ain't put no seasoning on.
We didn't add the extra olive oil either. Alrighty, guys, we are almost done with this delicious gumbo. I'm adding a second can of stewed tomatoes, and this is going to be our first can of rotel tomatoes. Okay, we're adding it to our roux, and as you can see from just those 2 tablespoons of xanthan gum, you can see how nice and creamy and how thick it made it. It's really got a nice base. Okay, and so we're actually adding in the tomatoes, and as we add each can of tomatoes, it's kind of just like thinning it back out. We're going to eventually take everything from this pan and put it in a big pot. In the microwave, we have our kale cooking. Just have it steaming with some more of those onions, and then we're going to throw everything together, and it should be done. Add some Old Bay seasoning or whatever else we need to season the pot, but it should be good and done, and it's looking delicious, looking flavorful. It's already tasting good.
It is.
Without even us seasoning anything yet, just from the peppers and onions and everything. So, and we haven't even added back in our meat. So we have our chicken sausage, we have our turkey bacon, we have our shrimp here, and then we have 3 cans of salmon. So this is going to be all of the protein that we put in to our roux and make it full of protein. So this should be a really delicious meal. And the only carbs that we add were 14 grams of carbs for the 2 tablespoons of xanthan gum. Okay, so this xanthan gum, you can find it in your baking aisle most of the time, or with the seasonings. And this is by Bob's Red Mill. Alrighty, stay tuned.
Okay, we're going ahead and put the roux in the pan. It's 1 cup.
Alrighty, now we're adding the kale mixture. We just steamed this in the microwave just so the kale wouldn't be in there raw. And, so we're adding some kale and put some peppers and everything on that too. Tastes good.
I think we need to add a little of that other seasoning.
I think we need some seasoning. We can taste it so we can see.
Okay.
I'm thinking maybe some of that chenille seasoning and a little Old Bay.
All right. We did it again.
Another winner. Yeah. Another great thing about this xanthan gum is that it's gluten-free. So for all my gluten-free friends out there, this is a great alternative to flour that you can use for thickening. Thanksgiving and Christmas are coming up. So I know you're going to be hungry and want to make some delicious gravies and desserts and stuff. This is a great flour substitute. I love that. So I'm so glad we were able to use xanthan gum today. This is how you make a gluten-free roux that would be so delicious for our friends that have a gluten sensitivity. All right. We sure hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Full and Satisfied. The great thing about gumbo is that you can just throw everything in the pot and it can taste absolutely amazing.
Yes,
You don't have to go out and buy all new ingredients like we did today, but we have to do that because we batch cook our meals every single week to cut down on waste. And so because we've been batch cooking, we have like zero waste. We hardly have food that we're throwing away on Sundays because we're really using it all up and we're eating all of our meals. So if you're making gumbo and you have some leftover chicken or leftover sausage or bacon or whatever, just throw it on in the pot and it'll come out delicious. And also for the vegetables, you guys see we use kale, but I'm going to go get me some okra tomorrow at the grocery store and throw it in my bowl. But just use whatever your family likes. My husband hates okra, so
we didn't use it.
So we didn't use it, okay?
We substituted
it for kale. You guys can do whatever works the best for your family. And I hope you guys try this delicious recipe and it keeps you full and satisfied like it's going to do us all week. We want to make sure we give you guys the star of the show. And the star of the show this week is going to be none other than the
xanthan gum.
Xanthan gum. A lot of people don't even know what xanthan gum is, but it's really a thickening that you can use for baking. It works really great when you're baking cinnamon rolls or making soups like we did today.
A gravy.
And we used it for the roux.
Right.
And you know, a lot of people use flour for the roux, but today we showed you how to use xanthan gum for the roux.
All right.
So if you don't even know what a roux is or how to make a roux, you learned today watching Mommy make the roux. Hope you loved how she made the roux by using the grease off of the bacon and then adding that xanthan gum to it and watching it thicken up when we added that vegetable broth. I thought it was like a science project. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this week's edition of Full and Satisfied. And we will see you next week. Bye.
Love you.
Love you guys.